I often wonder, are these people really this stupid? And I'm talking about these elected politicians and these people in the Trump regime who feed us all this bullshit talking points about things that Donald Trump is doing, especially now with these tariffs. Are they really so stupid that they believe the things that they say? Or do they really know better and they're just lying because they know that the average Republican voter is in fact that stupid and will believe whatever they tell them? I guess at the end of the day, it doesn't really much matter. But, I do wonder. Now, I have no doubt that Donald Trump himself really is this stupid. But I have a hard time believing that the people around him are. I'm going to play you a clip of Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. He's a billionaire. That doesn't necessarily mean he's smart. But I can't believe that he's really as stupid as what you're going to hear him say here. So let me pull this up, and then we'll talk about it on the other side.
You're going to see employment leaping starting today.
So if employment, in fact, leaps, and we'll come back to that.
Let me stop it right there real quick, because this is not the main part of what he says that I want to address, but I do want to address this since he said it. You're going to start seeing employment go up starting today because Donald Trump's massive tariffs have been put in place. That's going to lead to people, businesses hiring people. No, this is chaos. This is insane. And no one knows what's going to happen tomorrow. Nobody knows if he's going to change his mind, if he's going to increase tariffs, because he's already said that if any country, responds with tariffs of their own on American products, that Trump is going to retaliate even further with additional tariffs. Well, how much are those going to be? When are those going to kick in? Nobody knows anything. This is chaos. This is insanity. Nobody's going to hire people in this environment. I mean, look at the stock market. Corporations are losing tons of money right now. People are losing tons of money. Check out your 401k. No one is going to make big decisions about opening plants, hiring people, expanding operations. Nobody's going to do that in this chaotic environment. Howard Lutnick surely knows that. So why is he saying it? Maybe he doesn't know it. I don't know. He's saying it. And it's stupid. Anyways, let's continue with what he's saying here.
It may not help much if prices themselves are also going up. So let's just level with people. In the short term, every economist seems to think the prices will go up. Should people be prepared for that, and for how long?
Well, I think you have to sort of understand how things work. When tariffs come into place, foreign goods may become a little more expensive, but domestic goods do not. So if you're looking at Poland Springs water versus, something, let's say, Fiji water, the Poland Springs is not going to be more expensive. So for the first time in your lives, you're going to actually think about the Americans who make the products, the Americans who produce these products and work in these factories. It's time for us to take care of them instead of taking care of the world. You're going to see.
Okay, this is just stupid. And he says you have to understand how these things work. Look, if this guy said this in a freshman economics class in his first year in college, he would fail. Okay, this is stupidity. When you put tariffs in place, this guy says that foreign goods become more expensive, but American goods do not. Well, that is simply not true. If he did take a basic economics course, what is it that causes prices to be kept as low as possible? Competition. That's what keeps prices low. Well, if your competitors are forced, if the price of your competitors' goods increases dramatically because of these tariffs, what are you going to do? Well, you're going to feel free to raise your prices as well. Say your competitors' prices go up 35%. Well, guess what? You can raise your prices 20% and you would still be significantly cheaper than your competitors. When you have competition in the market, it drives down prices. And the more competition there is, the smaller the margin, right? Because you're trying to compete, and you're going to drive your prices as low as you can to compete while still making a profit. And your margins might be slow because your competition is fierce. If your competitors' prices go through the roof overnight, you're going to raise your prices too. And not only that, a lot of the products produced in this country are made with raw materials and component parts from foreign countries, which, guess what, are going to be taxed now with Donald Trump's tariffs. So a company in the United States manufacturing a product that uses raw materials or component parts that are imported, those are now going to be more expensive, which makes your product more expensive because it's more expensive to produce your product. So that's going to cause domestic products to become more expensive too. And yet this guy, Howard Lutnick, the Commerce Secretary, doesn't even get these basic facts correct. So the question is this man really this stupid? Because this is really dumb. Or is he just saying this to defend Donald Trump, and because he knows that the mindless cultists who are going to listen to him on Fox News and everywhere else, although this was on CBS, so there's not going to be a whole lot of Trump cultists watching this because they would call this fake news. But anyways, this is what he's saying everywhere. Does he really believe what he's saying? Or does he know this is a pile of horse shit, but he just thinks the American people are too stupid to know any difference? Now, the truth of the matter is, he might be right about that. If that's his assumption, that the American people are too stupid to know any different, yeah, he's probably right. But doesn't change the fact that those Americans who might not understand all this stuff, nonetheless, they are still going to be paying more for goods, whether they're imported goods or they're produced domestically. They're going to be paying more. The price of virtually everything is going to go up. And the American people are already stretched thin. Credit card and mortgage delinquencies are up through the roof. Why? Because people don't have extra money. We've been beaten down by inflation for years now. It was coming down, dramatically down over the last couple of years. It was 2.2% inflation when Biden left. Now that's going right back up. But after a couple of years, or a few years of high inflation, it's been like 4 or 5 years now of really high inflation, the American people have no money left. They have no savings. And they're going to feel the slightest bit of increase. I mean, they were already furious in the last election because of the price of everything, the price of eggs and everything else, right? That's why they turned to the convicted criminal and elected him, because he was promising to lower the prices of everything starting on day one. Those people are going to know that the prices aren't coming down. Those people are going to know that the prices are going up. So it doesn't really matter if they believe the bullshit that this guy is selling, because they're going to feel the truth and they're going to be mad. These people have kicked a hornet's nest, and the damage that's going to be wrought by these tariffs and the backlash, the political backlash of furious anger among the American people is going to be fierce. And Donald Trump owns it. This is all on him. He could try to blame Biden. He can try to blame Democrats. He can try to blame the media. But he owns it. He was the one announcing his tariffs. He's the one who's bragging about his tariffs. He's the one who promised we'd make so much money from his tariffs, we wouldn't know what to do with all the money. He owns this. And he's going to wish he didn't.